Hey family, welcome to my channel. Kabras B here. Asanteni sana. Karibu tena. Thanks for joining. Thank you for always being there for me. Kabras B here, guys. I do appreciate so much, guys, for always joining, for always caring, for always loving, for always supporting my channel. So today I just want to talk to you guys, and this topic, or this let me say, like, it is my life story, has really taken me super time to share with you guys. Like, not everybody just can wake up and start sharing her life or his life. But as for me, I've thought, nobody has told me to share about it, but I just saw that it is good for my fans to know more about me. So guys, today, if you want to hear many things about me, or this story that I'm about to share, stay tuned and watch till the end. I love you guys so much. Okay, so back in primary school, or back in my life, like in below 15-18 years, I was a very naive girl. Like, I didn't want anybody's business in my life, especially boys' businesses. I was so naive. I joined, after primary, I joined high school. I was still naive. Okay, although in Form 4, my class was the worst class. The East class was so worst class. Like, girls wanted to involve me in a peer pressure of boyfriend relationship. And up to that time, I was not ready for dating or having a boyfriend. Like, I used to share with my mom everything. I could tell her anything about my life or any experience that I'm experiencing on my body. I could share to her. Not even my sister, but I was open to my mother. So after high school, I joined college. Now in college, my first year, I was so naive. Like, the peer pressure in college, you will see girls walking from this department to another department. They are mingling with male friends. And okay, I'm also a human being, I'm a normal person. I could also mingle with them, but I could not go to their rooms. So I was about to go for my internship. That is the time I saw a guy approaching me. He came, I was just leaving the gate of the college. He came in with a letter. He had written his number there. So I took the number and off I went at home. So from there, I never talked to him, I never rang him, I never texted him anything, until even I think I lost his number. So I never bothered, because I knew that I'll still go back to the college and maybe we will meet. So after my internship, I came back to college, and the guy approached me again that he gave me his number, and I never texted him, like, I'm not interested in him or sort. He judged me, claimed many things, but that was that. So from there, he could come after my classes in the evening. We stroll around. Like, I started falling for him, as he had already fallen for me in love. So guys, at that time I was still living inside the college compound. So things went on. Love started blooming, and Modesta fell in love. I fell in love so deeply. And guys, I'm telling you, the first love is so sweet. Love life is so sweet at first sight. We could talk like the whole day, we could communicate like the whole day. You know, he used to live outside the school and I used to live inside the college. So during the weekend I could visit him in his house. We wash, we cook, we fun, like just a weekend. I hope you understand how colleges are during the weekend. So we dated like for almost a year. Yeah, almost a year. And you know, I was doing craft course. So craft course, like it takes 2 years. So it was on my final. Okay, I had already moved now from living in college hostels to outside. So that is the time where I had all like my freedom, 100% freedom. Okay, I could go during the weekend, we could spend together as we used to spend, and some weekends he could go to his parents' home because he came from a nearby town just next to the college. So after a certain duration, it was time for me now. My exam period was just near. The guy kept on encouraging me, advising me to be focused in my studies. Like, you know, it is so shameful to study the whole of those years in college and end up failing the exam. Okay, he was so kind that he could tell me about being persistent with books, and I thank God for that. So after it was in it was I think it was a break for them. They were going on a holiday. There are those who are going for internship, but there are those who are doing exams. So I was among the people that were doing exams. So I was to remain in school for like a month, yeah, to finish our exam. So the guy told me that he's going and he's leaving me so that I have ample time at school to concentrate on my studies and for exams. Okay, it really hurted me for leaving him, and to be honest, it is true when they say that it is hard to say goodbye. Don't ask me many questions about. I'm not going to talk like every ABCD. You are grown-ups and I think you understand. So my story is going just to be short. You just judge from the story. You understand that things had already been done there. Things have already gone far. And guys, I'm so sorry to say that during that time we had lost his brother. Like we had buried him just a month after that, and his brother was so kind and close to me, even more than the guy himself. So like the brother had already told me that we will be together with his brother, like we will get married, and when I give birth to a baby boy I name after him, and when I give I give to a baby girl I name her after their late mother. So guys, things were like horror. You know, when somebody tells you something like that, you are like, yes, you are the one and you are the only one. So everything you do, you just know that you are the wife to that person. So my exams were there. You know, the course that I did food and beverages. We start with the practical side before going for theory. So it was time for practical, and practical we have service and production. So it was time for me to go in for, okay, I started with the service, then later production. So during my during my service, everything was smooth and I liked it. But now the problem came in during my production. Guys, I'm telling you, it was the worst and nightmare in my entire life. You know, like, I'm naive. I don't know if I'm pregnant. I'm going in for practical, but I'm feeling like my body has changed. I'm feeling some things like I'm not just normal. When I smell some foods, I feel like puking. And you know, I'm going in for practical. So I just prayed that God help me. I'm so naive, I'm stressed up, like I don't want to share with anybody, even my roommate don't know anything about the pregnancy, but she had already judged me and she had already gone outside to tell people that I'm pregnant. Something that myself I don't know, but I just have that sense or that feeling that I'm pregnant. So guys, I went in for practical, and I think the practical went on smoothly. Then after the hours were over, you know, when you are doing like a practical exams, the results always come instantly after the at the end of the practical. So with my group, we were told that everybody has passed the practical. I was so happy, and I went back to the room where we were staying with my friend. So from there we were preparing, like because we had a theory exam. Now just 3 or after a week we had theory exams. So I was there with my friend, but her action started changing over me. Like, I became just an enemy to her. Like, she was not free to me like before. Things changed, but, and by the way, it really killed me. It really messed my brains, my thoughts. Like, I started feeling lonely, but all in all, I thank God I did my exam well and everything went on well, and I left the college. Now, when I came home, I started experiencing like the symptoms. I wanted to puke in the morning when I wake up, and at night when I'm sleeping, I also feel like nausea. Just, I was so lonely and I didn't want to share with anybody, but I was thinking a lot. Guys, I'm telling you, I was thinking a lot and my mind was full. So one day I woke up in the morning, my mom was in kitchen as normal. In the morning she was preparing breakfast. I rushed in the kitchen, you know, I'm feeling hungry. I went and grabbed a plate of rice, the remains of rice. Then I started swallowing them very fast because my stomach was just empty. I took a cup of tea and immediately I ran outside. My mom didn't realize anything. I went and puked. Guys, I'm telling you, I puked and I started crying. My mother heard the voice of puking, then she came out, asked me if I was sick, but I told her that because I took, I think, cold rice, and I took it very fast. That's why I'm reacting like that. So she just said okay, and life went on. But as much as I was staying with my mother and okay, my parents, I wasn't comfortable because whenever I looked to them for the hard work, for the sacrifice they had sacrificed, and I've already messed my life. I have broke them, I have disappointed them. It was really, really hurting me. Guys, I'm telling you, it was really hurting me. So I decided to pack my things, and I was insisting that I want to travel to another city to stay with my town here, not city, town. It was a town. I don't want to mention any town. I'm not going to mention anybody's name on this video. So it was a town. I went there to stay with my cousin, but my cousin was not around, so I was to stay with my in-law. I'm telling you the experience that I had in that house. Only God knows. Only God knows. It was hell. Okay, let me calm myself. It was hell, guys. I'm telling you, it was hell. My in-law was just on my neck. Like, you know, at that time you're feeling like you want to eat a certain food, but you can't get it because you don't have money. You are under somebody's roof and you will go per the rule of that house. In the morning I could wake up and do everything in the house. You know, with those first trimester of pregnancy, it is hell. The first month, second month and third month is hell. Guys, I'm telling you, it is hell. And I was on the second month of pregnancy. So I decided that for better for worse, I need to tell this guy what is going on with my life. So I took my phone, I made a call to him, and I told him that I'm experiencing blah blah blah, and I think you need to come over so that we talk about my life or my future. So the guy made the journey to the town where I was. I relocated from my cousin's house. Then I started living alone. So while I was alone, okay, I went and rented a house, a single house. It had nothing. Like, guys, I was sleeping on a lasso. Just like I took some carton box, put them down, put there a lasso, some clothes, then I was covering myself with a lasso because I didn't have anything to cover myself with. So long as I have a shelter, I have peace. That is what I was looking for. So the guy came. The life I was living was so miserable. He came. He went and bought for me like small stuffs. He bought for me a mattress, utensils, stove. And I was like, it's okay with this life. I'm just okay. So we talked about our issues, and he told me that he is ready and he accepted the pregnancy. So I don't need to worry. But my big worry was my parents. How will I air the story or the news to my parents? That was the only thing that was killing me. Despite the boy accepting the pregnancy, for me airing the news to my parents was the hell in my entire life. You know, when I remember back at home, I was thinking how my parents have struggled. Like, my mother was even using torn shoes going to work because she had sacrificed and taken me to college, at least to make her proud. But I missed my life, and I never met or fulfilled their dreams. You know, guys, there's some things that we do in life, like we think we are pleasing ourselves, but in real we are killing our parents. and disappointed my parents. Okay, so I talked to the guy and I told him that I think the big problem with me is, especially to my parents, that I'm pregnant. So I didn't want to tell my parents at that time that I'm pregnant. So I waited until my results were out. And I had planned that when I failed the exam, I wasn't going to tell them about the pregnancy. They'd rather just come and carry my dead corpse, come and bury me. And every day I was praying to God that I just passed my exam. Whenever I always remember our background, it was hurting me. It was deeply hurting me. This sacrifice the parents had put with the hopes in me, but I disappointed them. So it was one morning, I was just seated there and the guy was still also around. I told him that, no, there's a message that came in on my phone, and that girl told me that the exams are out and she had passed her exams. You know, like in class, I wasn't that bright, I was in middle. So she just told me that 5 people are the one that have passed the exams, and we were in a class, I was in a class of 40 people. So I just knew that I've failed exams. I cried so deeply, and I sat down, started texting my dad, and on the message I had told him that I'm pregnant and he should keep the secret to himself, not even to tell my mother, not even to tell any siblings in my family. So because at that time I remember my mother didn't have a phone, so I used my dad to pass the message to my mother. Guys, I'm telling you, it was not easy. It was not easy at all. I had told my dad that I'd rather die than carrying the shame to the village. And guys, you understand, living in a village, how people talk, how people can carry the news around very fast. I was just imagining that people will be saying that they took me to college and what I brought to my parents is just a shame. It is a shame. So guys, I think that on that day, just after I text my dad, but I had not sent the message. I tried to look around for the number that I can reach the exams office back in college. Then there's a friend of me who sent me the number of one tutor. So I used that number to ask about my results. Then the results came in and I had passed. That was a plus to me. At least it brought a smile on my face. I was so happy because now I was ready to share it to my parents. At first I wanted to just to know that I've passed exams. Then is when I would air them about my pregnancy. So because I had passed, I was so happy. I prayed to God and I thanked God. And so I texted the message, but I had already, something that made me cry was the message that I had written on that message. I had told my dad that they will never see me in their entire life. The last time they saw me was the last day they saw me, and that was. But guys, I started with the message that I've made it in my studies, but you know that but in other way I have disappointed them because I'm pregnant. I sent the message and removed the SIM card, removed the battery because it was these button phones, and threw away everything, like separated them. And because I didn't want any, I didn't want just to have the phone, but my boyfriend told me that it is not good. I should just put back my phone and switch it on, because when I do like that, it will worry my parents a lot. So I decided and I collected the phone SIM card and made it back and switched it on. So I'm telling you, just a few minutes, my younger brother called me. And I was like, now Dad, I told him to keep the secret, not to let it out, not even to my siblings. And he had already spreaded the news. I ended off the call with my young brother. He kept on insisting calling me. And little did I know that my brother was around the town I was. He was doing sales, like he could transport the product from Nairobi via the town I was in to another town. So he wanted to check on me because he knew I was in that town. He just wanted to check on me so that he can give me something small. Those are cash. But I never wanted to pick the call because what was running on my mind was that my dad has already started telling them that I'm pregnant, and that's the reason why my brother is calling. But I was wrong. So I texted my father and asked him that I told you not to tell anybody about this, and you've already told my brother. He's ringing me like 1,000 times in a minute. Then my dad said that he hasn't told anybody or shared that message to anybody, not even my mother. And I said, okay. Just after 30 minutes, my sister called me. And I'm like, what's not happening? Even without finishing, my elder brother called me. So guys, I was so confused. And I'm like, what's not happening? Why is it that these people have decided just to call me from nowhere? Just immediately I've shared my dad with the message, they are calling me literally. I said, no, something must be wrong. And you know what? I think in our family, this thing just ran in our blood. When something is happening to someone, it affects the whole family. So I think once I shared the message, it affected all of us. Though we don't have the same blood group, but I think it's something that just ran in our blood. So my sister texted me that she was coming during the weekend to visit me. I told her that I won't be around, I'll be at work because I had got a job just within that town. I told her that I'll not be around, but she insisted that she is coming to visit me, and she will come with my young brother. Whew. So that day, I think I went and asked for a one-off day, and they gave me. So that day I decided to go and also do a pregnancy test in a nearby clinic. Guys, I'm telling you, I was walking in town, reading on buildings, the chemist, the hospital, the clinic, but whenever I just want to go inside, something tell me no, don't go. You know, I'm like 2 months pregnant, but still not sure if I'm pregnant. I'm still feeling, I'm confused, I'm feeling naive, I'm feeling, I wish you knew what was on my mind. I was feeling like even jumping on the road in front of a running car so that it just hit me and end up my life there. But I kept on walking. I passed a mission hospital. I went. I looked on a certain building. I saw there a clinic where they have written pregnancy test, blah 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 blah. Many diseases they check. I passed to that hospital. Next clinic, I kept on going until I reached a main road that was leading the highway, Nairobi highway, and I was like, God, what's not happening to me? Please calm me down, God. Then I turned back and started using the route that I've come from, and I just entered a clinic. When I entered there were no people around, but I knocked in her first room, and there was a gentleman, a doctor. He welcomed me. I sat there, and immediately I started crying. Even without explaining, I started crying because there was on the wall there was a calendar with a woman who was pregnant inside a net. I think it was an advert for women to be sleeping under the nets to avoid mosquito. So when I just saw that picture, tears flocked on my cheeks. Then the doctor told me to calm down and explain my problem. It took me time to cool down, but after some few minutes, I calmed down and explained to him. Okay, he told me that he's going to assist me, and he was a very gentle man. Thank you so much to that doctor. Even I don't remember his name at all because it is many years back. That was in 2012. I can't remember his name, but I remember the hospital, but I can't mention the name of the hospital. He treated me well. Then after I had gone for the test in the lab, the results were out, and I came back to him because he was the one going to look at the results and advise me. So he looked at the results, he advised me, he told me that I was positive. I was pregnant. The results were positive. I was pregnant, and I should not worry because I'm at a good age and I need to start clinic. He just gave me tips, he gave me advices about life, and I think from that time my mind just calmed down, and he gave me fare back to the house, but I had money. He gave me fare back, he gave me his number. He told me that in case of anything, when I'm depressed or when I'm stressed up, I call that number. He's ready to talk to me. It is not a must we meet, but he can talk to me via the phone. I thank that the doctor so much. I wish I could remember him. But anyway, sometimes God brings the destiny helpers, even if you're not expecting them. They just come. So from there, I went to my house, and my sister called me that she is in town. I went fully there to pick her. I was so majestic. Went and picked her. We came in the house, and we were talking. Now the problem is where to hide my testing kit. I came with it, and I didn't want to show it to my sister. So whenever she was walking around the house, I'm like, I want to take something there because I don't want her to go to that corner. So we just made stories with her. We were laughing. She slept over. In the morning, I escorted her back. Then she boarded the bus back to Nairobi. Life went on. That is 2 months, third month, fourth month, guys. No job, no money to pay rent, father to my baby, unborn baby, no communication. Trouble started. While I was just walking in town, my phone rang. Looking on it, it was somebody that I know, a friend to my unborn baby, the father to my unborn baby. Then I talked to him. He told me that I need to be careful, like my ex is having an affair with his ex-girlfriend and they are living together, and it seems the girl is also pregnant. It blew off my mind. I stopped from there, went and sat down in a kiosk, quenched my thirst. Then I went back to the house. When I made a call to him, his phone was off. So I made a plan. Because I wanted to make sure that this is true, I planned the trip to the place where he was without informing him that I was going there. So I made arrangement with his elder brother. I went, and in the evening, the following day, I booked a bus and off I went. I reached there at around 6. It was really raining, and immediately he was opening the house. I was there. We could fight, not fighting with hands or body, but mouth to mouth fight. We fought, we talked, and guys, I think I just made it clearly because he was not ready to explain to me anything. But his elder brother had admitted that he was living with the ex and she was pregnant too. I just said openly that let it be, and it is over between me and him. You know, at that age of 21, being a co-wife to somebody, it don't even sound. And the thing that I was praying in my life is never to have a co-wife. But now I'm at 21 years, I already have a co-wife. I was so young to have a co-wife. Guys, I was so broke. I was heartbroken. And I told him that I want to go back to where I was staying. And we end communication completely, never to talk again. And that's how I ended my communication with the father to my son. I went back home, and imagine I'm passing through the town to my home, not even going home, but going back to where I was staying. I was confused. I reached there, I cried, I cursed my life, I regretted a lot, but it was too late. I was already 5 months pregnant. So I decided that I need to change my thoughts. My mother rang me and told me that she needed me at home. My mother encouraged me. My mother advised me. My mother told me everything positive, and she told me that she was ready to be with me, to walk with me, to be supportive to me in each and every step that will take in my life, despite the challenge that I'll go through in the village. Let it be, but she will always be there for me 100%. thank you so much, mother, for letting you down, but you were always there for me. So guys, I decided that because my parents have accepted me at home, only few parents can accept you in their home when you are pregnant. Not all parents, just few. And I thank God for my parents. I respect them. I adore them so much in my entire life. So I made my journey back home and I came back. During my journey, I lost everything. My suitcase, and the suitcase contained every document. Like my life, okay, I was traveling, but my head was not okay. Like I was crying, I was thinking a lot. And when we reached a certain town, they told us to shift from the bus that we were. It was going to another town, so we moved to another bus. I think I just walked there and I sat. I didn't want to bother that I had luggage, and my luggage went like that, missing. So reaching home is when I realized that I've lost my suitcase. It never bothered me. The problem was reaching at my parents' home when I'm safe. I thank God for my parents. Guys, if you have a parent and they take care of you at above 18 years old, guys, I'm telling you, always thank your parents. Never take that thing for granted. Never take it for granted. I'm telling you. Immediately I entered the house, my dad told, the first thing he uttered from his mouth was that I'm carrying a baby boy. He didn't say anything. I just entered the house, then we talked, I ate, freshened up, and went to bed. In the morning, I narrated the story to him about the dad to my baby. I told him everything, and they said it is okay. Because they didn't want to give me pressure. You know, when you are pregnant, you need to have ample time. Like, you don't have to have stress. But I was stressing myself at that time when I wanted to deliver to them the news. But I forgive myself for everything that I talked, for the negative thoughts I had of killing myself, for aborting the baby. I just asked for forgiveness, and I forgive myself first, and I ask God for forgiveness. So guys, after that, I was staying with my parents. Like, I was just indoors. Fifth, I started attending the clinic, and I used to go with my mother. 7 month, 8, 9. Then so the 9 month, when I started experiencing now the pains of the labor, my mother was there for me. I went to deliver, and everything went successful. I thank God. I deeply thank God. That time when I was going to deliver, my dad was not around. Something that I was praying to God for. He had traveled, and I deeply wished that when I go to the labor, my dad to be away, and God heard my prayer. My dad was not at home. So when he came back, I had delivered to a baby boy. He was so happy. He bought me the grape water on his way back home. He bought me 5 kgs of rice, 1 bag of sweet potatoes. Oh my God, my parents are just amazing parents in my life. They're so amazing. So now I thank God my son is growing. My son has grown big. He is now 8 years old, and he's healthy. He's obedient. Now the problem is the boy always pressure me. The boy always ask about his dad. That is the worst mare I go through every day. The boy is always telling me that he wants to see his dad. Last month, I was just going through my phone. Then I palmed on a photo of his dad, and like we were sitting on bed, we were about to go to bed. Then I said, this is Omar. Then the boy was like, oh, so that is my father. Let me see him, because I've never seen him. He don't talk to me. Let me just see his face. I have a record of that. I recorded my boy speaking painful. He spoke so painful until I cried. But guys, I'm telling you, it is hard. You can't cry in front of your baby. You need to hide to cry. I cried. The boy said many things that touched my heart. And in the morning, I confused him and made him to sleep. In the morning, he went to school and I shared it to my mother. Like I just wanted somebody to share to, because it was hurting me. The boy had spoken very big, and he's a kid. Very hurting messages. I have a clip on my phone on records. May God forgive me. May God forgive me for all I have put through my son. But all I always pray is that God to give me good health. His tomorrow will be better life than today. That is my prayers. And I salute all single mother out there. Guys, I'm telling you, it is not a walk in the park journey being a single parent. Be it a mother, be it a father, being single is not a walk in the park. We pass through hell. We are being judged. We are being mocked. But remember, things do happen in this life. No one is perfect. No one wishes for him or herself to have some lives. But circumstances, people can betray you. Like as for me, I was betrayed by a person. I was betrayed by circumstances. And I could not avoid it. I can't kill myself because the circumstance have betrayed me or somebody has betrayed me. No. All I always pray is God is alive. I'm alive and life must go on. Who knows my tomorrow? Who knows my life tomorrow? Only God knows that. So I'm never afraid. I always wake up, shed the tears, look in the mirror and wake up to see a tomorrow. God's time is always the best. Never rush to another relationship because you have been hurted in this relationship. Never console yourself by moving on to another relationship because you have been heartbroken in the previous relationship. You will be making the worst and big mistake in life. Be patient. Wait for your time. Wait for your person. God knows your destination. When you hurry, you will just land yourself in a hot pan. But keep praying, look upon God, and just move on. Move on with life. It is now for me 8 good years old. Good years. I could be married now, but I'm not in a hurry. God's time is always the best. I know one day, one time, I'll find somebody. I'll find a good man. I'll find the best man, and I'll move in. So guys, be encouraged. never give up. I think I've talked a lot, I've shared a lot. If you want to judge me, feel free. If you have learned something from me, thank you so much. Keep going. You are not alone. We are many that are going through it. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep peace, keep love, keep praying. Have a lovely weekend. See you in my next video. Cabras Bay here. Subscribe, like, share, comment to my content, and please go back and watch my videos if you've not watched the previous videos. Support me, support my channel. Let's walk this 1000 subscriber together. Let's go together to this journey of 400 watch time hours. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Many blessings and bye.